Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and today I'm going to be memory keeping the week of June 13th through the 19th and talking about all of the books that I read during this week, which I told you guys it was coming. The slump was hard. I only read 2 books this week. So, it was a time. I didn't finish a book for 6 days between the last book I finished in my previous Plan With Me and the first book that I finished in this Plan With Me. So, life was difficult for a little bit in there. And part of it was, this was around the time when my lupus stuff started flaring up a little bit again. I think just the stress of going back to work and also just being more active at work, since a lot of the stuff we were doing was more physical, like shelving and stuffing craft bags where you're standing and bending over a table for a long period of time and that sort of thing. I started having lupus symptoms. I got my period this week. I was in a terrible mood. Our credit card information got stolen, and we had to deal with all of that. The same night that happened, our internet went out, and also the only bottle of wine in the house was not good. Like, I would call it undrinkable. So I actually think I dumped that bottle of wine, and Joe, bless his soul, on Thursday went out and bought me ice cream and wine. And then I watched YouTube on my phone because the internet was completely out. It was a day. It was a week. I carried that bad mood energy into the weekend, but, I survived. We're here, and this spread is really freaking cute, if I don't say so myself. This is one of my favorite spreads I've done in a really long time. I actually didn't use any foil scripts this week because I used this gorgeous hot gold hollow glitter foil. I used the same foil with another kit that had hot pink in it back in February, I think January or February. And I love how it looked, and it worked with this color scheme in this kit. I love this kit. I think I've had it for 2 years at least. It was from Scribble Prints Co. a really long time ago, and I kept bumping it, and I want to say this is the 4th or 5th week that I've quote-unquote scheduled this kit for, and now I finally used it, and it's adorable. I'm so glad I didn't destash it. I almost destashed this kit. I'm very glad I didn't, because I love pink and green together. It just speaks to me. I don't know if it's my inner preppy person. There's just something about hot pink and green that soothes my soul. So I also pulled in this gorgeous washi from Simply Gilded that has peacocks on it, but it's all pink and green, and it worked with this spread. Is it thematically part of the spread? No, I actually looked to see if I could find anything with cacti or Southwest stuff. I feel like I have a washi that has something Southwest on it, and I couldn't find it, and I saw this. I'm like, I'm going to go with it. And plus it had gold bows, and that kind of matched the sparkly hollow gold moment that was going on with this wiggle, and I figured it was close enough, and I flippin' love how this turned out. This is why I love having such a huge washi collection. There is almost nothing on this planet that makes me happier than when I have the right washi for the right kit. Does it make sense? No, but it brings me joy, it makes me so happy. So, other than, my piss poor reading week, it was also my dad's 60th birthday. So there's actually stuff that happened this week compared to every other week that I've been voiceovering where absolutely nothing happened. So, at least it was a full week if I don't have very many books to talk about. But it was my dad's 60th birthday, and we had a very small family get-together with my brothers, and everyone had been social distancing beforehand, and both of my brothers and my parents were working from home, so no one was going out and doing anything, and we wore masks and all of that. But it was really nice to get to see my family and celebrate my dad's 60th. And we played a bunch of Jackbox games and ate pizza. And we got to tour my parents' new house, which they are now in. But at this time they were living in an apartment while their house was being finished up. So it was just a really good Saturday. But now I'm going to talk about my books, my 2 books. I don't even have that much to say about either of these books, which is a travesty, but we're going to try. I feel like every time I think, oh, I'm not going to be able to talk about these books for this much time, I end up running out of time to talk about the books. So the first book that I finished this week was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, and this is an adult romance that has awesome chronic pain / chronic illness rep, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was a super cute adult romance. I felt so seen by this. I struggle, obviously, you guys know I'm very open. I have lupus, and with lupus comes a lot of chronic pain issues, and being young and having chronic pain is difficult, and, you know, when someone gets it, they get it, you know, and this book got it, and it made me feel very seen, and I appreciated when the chronic pain, or the pain in general, was taken into account during, like, sexy times and stuff. It felt very, I don't know if that's TMI, it felt very realistic, and I just really appreciated what this book did for romance with chronically ill, in pain people. So, you know, we deserve good romance too, you know? And the only reason it wasn't a 5 out of 5 is I felt like the conflict at the end was a little manufactured. It didn't feel necessary to the book, and that part sort of I didn't like so much, but all in all, it was a solid read. I do have a copy of the sequel that I'm looking forward to reading eventually. So, you know, I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the romance. I enjoyed the rep. Just solid romance book. And then the other book that I read this week was Jade City by Fonda Lee. And this might be controversial, and it's even controversial for myself because I guess like spoiler, not like spoiler for the book, but spoiler for my next video, I flipping loved the sequel to this book, and I will rave about these books forever, but I actually only rated Jade City a 3.5 out of 5. Now, hear me out. This has one of the best plots and quite possibly the most gripping political intrigue I've ever read in a fantasy book. The setup of this book is awesome. The dynamics in this book are awesome. Everything about it from a plot standpoint was wonderful. What I struggled with at the beginning, and as I got used to the writing style, this wasn't an issue as much, but I felt very removed. Like, something about the writing style, I felt like I was being held at arm's length from the characters and the story, and I struggled to connect with the characters initially because of that. And obviously I did connect to the characters, and I didn't feel that way in Jade War, which is the sequel. So, you know, spoiler alert for what I'm going to talk about in the next video. But I felt like I just didn't really care so much at the beginning. And once I got more into it, I cared more. And but like, man, the plot and the political intrigue that was going on here was just, I mean, off the wall incredible. And if you don't know, Jade City is an adult urban fantasy set in a fictional world, like a fantasy world that's sort of like The Godfather meets martial arts films, like kung fu films, and it's so unique. So it's set on this island, Keikan, I believe, is the name of the island. I'm really bad at remembering names. So, you know, and there are certain people who are able to harness the power of, I think it's like biogenetic jade or bio something jade that is different from, you know, the normal jade that you would wear as jewelry. There's certain jade that has a magical power to it, and certain people can harness that power, and It makes them better fighters. It makes them stronger, faster, that sort of thing. And certain people can wear more jade than others. And there's also a new drug on the market that if you use the drug, it allows people to then use the bio jade. There's like a word in between bio and jade that I'm just blanking on right now. It's been a while since I read it, but this drug is on the market, and so the families that have kind of controlled the jade and who gets to use the jade and this ruling class of people who can access jade's power, suddenly like there's kind of this upheaval in the power structure, but the people who can use the jade through the drug, like the drug is kind of almost like a heroin thing where you have to use more and more of it and people get addicted to it and it kind of destroys you. And it's just very complicated, and there's also a lot of social implications by how much jade you can wear. So even people who can harness jade, if they wear too much of it, they can get jade sickness, and it can make you kind of crazy, and similar things to like being a drug addict almost. And it's just a very unique magic system, and it's not like hocus pocus, like wave your fingers kind of magic. It's very practical. Like this magic lets us fight better, and it was just really cool. I love the sequel. So if you find the writing a little off-putting in the first book, just like by the end, you'll get used to it. And like the sequel is just, oh my God, it's so good. But yeah, so that was everything I read this week. And, you know, reading slumps happen to the best of us, but, you know, I still had a good week. And did I, you know, read 31 books in October to make up for the fact that I was in a reading slump most of the summer? Yeah, but I'm finally almost caught up on my Goodreads goal, so it all turned out all right at the end. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye, guys.